Are you looking for the best electric scooter under $500? Well, look no further, because Turboant's new entry to the budget electric scooter market carves its crown as the king of the sub $500 bracket. The Turboant M10 has redefined what it is to be a bargain scooter. Before this superb scooter arrived at our HQ, I'd never seen a model with its specs available at such a wallet-friendly price. With a lightweight frame, one of the fastest top speeds in its price bracket, and best-in-class ride quality, it's the perfect scooter for first-time thrifty riders. After putting the M10 through my rigorous testing and review process, I've summarized my findings into 6 things that I love and 3 things that I think could be improved. But as always, before we dive into those, let me give you a rundown of what you can expect from this scooter, as well as who I recommend it for. When you're shopping on a budget, you have to make a few compromises, but Turboant have done a great job with the M10. They successfully kept the price down while still delivering an impressive scooter that's perfectly suited to first timers, commuters, and casual riders. It's a profoundly multi-talented scooter. Sturdy, nimble, and portable, the M10 is manna from heaven if you're looking for a durable model that won't cost you the earth. Now, if that sounds like a scooter that you'd like to hear more about, keep watching as I unpack the things that I love and the things that I think need to be improved. The Turboant M10 is fantastic value for money. There's a reason we've awarded it the gong of the best electric scooter under $500. As you'll see throughout the review, the M10 is in the upper echelons of our speed and mileage comparisons, beating many other models in its price class. Factor in its 10-inch air-filled tyres, a profile that you're just as likely to see on much more premium models, and this machine is a bona fide bargain. Sure, the M10 doesn't push the envelope too far in terms of extra features, but make no mistake, what it does well, and for the money you're paying, you simply won't find a better scooter. Aside from the aesthetic qualities of the M10's frame, fitting its stylish, stripped back and sophisticated character, it boasts a configuration that lends itself to ergonomic design. The most notable aspect of the M10's frame, which is unlike the rest of the budget scooters in our 140 strong database of models, is its curved handlebars. This swept-back design is more than just flair. Measuring 17.7 inches in width, which is 7% wider than the Turboant X7 Max, and with ribbed rubber coverings providing grip, they ensure excellent control over the steering column. It's not just the handlebars that afford the M10 good handling though. Courtesy of the deck-located battery, it's easy to maneuver. Because batteries tend to be one of the heaviest components, their placement can impact handling. Whereas stem-located batteries can saddle a scooter with a weightier steering column and lead to a top-heavy feel, the M10's deck-house battery lowers the center of gravity, offering you a more stable riding experience. Since we've already established that the M10's handlebars, frame and deck ensure excellent handling, it would be remiss of me not to touch on the last piece of the puzzle that elevates the M10 into ride quality stardom. Surprisingly, the M10 sports large 10-inch pneumatic tyres, which, thanks to their air-filled design, are built to not only get you from A to B, but give you a fair dose of C for comfort. By comparison to the many other scooters in our database that cost less than $500, just 2, including the M10 and Highboy Max 3, have 10-inch air-filled tyres. Taking this into account, the tyres aren't just rare, they bestow it with a level of ride quality that's unparalleled in its price class. In addition to insulating you from the jarring jolts and impact of potholes and cracks in the road, their profile also affords you a greater contact patch. This gives you more traction and improves your handling and control of the scooter even further. There's no denying the fact that the Turboant M10 is the leader of the pack when it comes to both speed and range in the sub $500 category, but as we've seen with other models from budget scooter gurus Turboant, the M10 manages to hold its own against more expensive scooters. Take its speed for example. The 36 volt 350 watt motor has enough power to propel the M10 up to 20 miles per hour. Comparing this against the backdrop of 14 other scooters that fall within a $500 bracket around its price tag, it shares the top spot with its siblings, the Turboant X7 Max and X7 Pro, as well as the GoTrax G4. Yet all of these models have price tags that are between $100 and $200 more expensive. It is worth noting though that the M10 has the slowest acceleration of all three models, where it takes 7.6 seconds to reach 15 miles per hour. Flipping a speed versus price comparison on its head by adding mileage into the mix reveals that the M10's 18-mile range takes a stronghold position in the mid-table. But before we get carried away, as with all electric scooters, this mileage figure is a maximum, and under my test I was able to get 11 miles on the clock while riding in the fastest mode. Now let's go back to the comparison. While its ranking is respectable, especially considering that we are comparing it against scooters that cost more, if you can afford to stretch your budget and want a model that excels in both speed and range, then the Turboant X7 Max with its 20 miles per hour top speed, 32 mile maximum range, or 18 miles under realistic riding conditions, and $599.98 price tag will be a perfect fit. Overall though, for all that the M10 has to offer, it has the power and stamina that surpasses its budget price tag. The Turboant M10 relies on two brakes. The mechanical disc brake over the rear wheel is the scooter's first line of defense, while an electronic brake at the front bolsters its stopping power. A look at similar models in our database show that these type of brakes are standard for a scooter of its price, so it's no surprise that the M10's braking performance of 4.9 meters from 15 miles per hour aligns with the average in its class. But if I was to recommend any other model for its brakes, it would have to be the Turboant X7 Max. Thanks to better calibrated brake pads, it stops in just 3 meters from 15 miles per hour, equating to a 39% improvement over the M10. Weighing in at a mere 29.8 pounds, the Turboant M10 is one of the lightest electric scooters in our entire database. As a result, portability is one of its strong suits, making it ideal for those looking for a light, nimble mode of transportation. One of the factors contributing to the M10's portability credentials is its folding mechanism. It's quick, intuitive, and reliable. It consists of a locking lever and a small plastic ring that hugs the base of the stem. The lever clicks into place as soon as the stem is lifted into an upright position, and the ring tucks behind the lever to immobilize it from being pushed back. When you need to fold the scooter, it's a simple case of rotating the plastic ring to free up the space behind the lever, pushing the lever in to release the lock, and folding the stem down. Once folded, a loop on the back of the handlebars slides through a protruding hook on the rear fender. Alongside the thin stem, it's super easy to carry with one hand, rendering it as a top performing portable scooter. Okay, so we've just ran through the things that I love about the Turboant M10. Now let's take a closer look at the 3 things that could be improved. Despite the curved handlebars and easy to reach finger throttle promising the comfortability factor, the remaining controls in the cockpit aren't as ergonomic. To start, the buttons on the dashboard, which control your lights and riding mode, can only be used safely if you stop the scooter. Let's say you have the riding mode set to sport, but you realize that the battery is running low and you want to conserve battery life by switching to eco mode. To do this on most other scooters, including its sibling, the X7 Max, you would simply reach for a button with your thumb or finger while keeping your grip on the handlebars. This isn't the case with the M10. Instead, you have to take one of your hands off the handlebars to click the buttons because they're out of reach. This may not seem like a major issue, but I've been forcibly ejected while riding one of my scooters as a result of taking one hand off the handlebars. The other area for improvement is the position of the brake lever. While the lever is well modulated, its placement, particularly for taller riders, can be a little bit awkward. I'm over 6 foot tall and I found that the positioning of the lever meant that I had to bend my hand upwards at an awkward angle to pull on it. Here, the lever would be far easier to use if it was angled down by around 30 degrees, but because of the cockpit's design, this isn't a possibility. In the center of the handlebars is the display, an elongated panel that showcases your speed, remaining battery life, and riding mode. While most of the displays stack information, all the key stats are presented horizontally, making them easier to see at a glance when you can. You see, while the display boasts a unique design and certainly wins the scooter points for aesthetics, the flip side of this is that because the display is flat rather than angled toward you, it catches a lot of glare. It's also not the brightest, making it hard to read. Pushing the button to the right side of the display screen activates the lights. Full disclosure, the headlight isn't the brightest. Usually I recommend picking up an extra USB rechargeable headlight and strapping it onto the handlebars, but this is difficult because there isn't enough room between the display and the grips to attach accessories. Instead, you need to attach it to the stem. Nevertheless, the headlight that comes as stock is still handy, and considering that this scooter is made for city riding, where there are plenty of street lamps to light your way, it's unlikely you'll ever need to rely on it all that much. Located on the rear fender is a tail light to complete the lighting package. The good news is that it's also responsive, meaning that it flashes when you pull on the brakes. So, is the Turboant M10 a worthwhile investment? To put it simply, yes. There's no doubt that the M10 lives up to Turboant's stellar reputation for building excellent budget electric scooters. It doesn't come with all the bells and whistles you'll find on more expensive models, but it does the basics extremely well. This scooter is well built, comfortable to ride, and delivers exceptional value for money. So what do you think about the Turboant M10? Are there any other points that you would have added? If so, you know what to do. Let me know in the comments. Now, if you're ready to hit the buy button, you can scan this QR code or you can click the links in the description. And you can also use our exclusive discount code to save money. For those of you that would like to know what other scooters I recommend as alternatives or want to see our full performance test, you can read our full review on electricscooterinsider.com, which I've linked to in the description below. And finally, if you found value from this video, come on, do me a favor, smash that like button, share it with a friend, and just subscribe to become an electric scooter insider. Thank you for watching. I say this every time, I mean it. Your support is appreciated. Again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.